we were building schools. We had a group with us high in the Andes Mountains of Ecuador. And on this one particular build, our school supplies arrived late. So we couldn't finish the school. We turned to the chief, we explained the problem, and we said, don't worry, we have more volunteers coming in just a few weeks, we'll finish it then. The chief, her language, she was from the Puré Indians, and her language was Quechua. And so as it was being translated into Quechua, she listened, she nodded, and she said, no problem. Let's finish it now. And we thought maybe the translation didn't work. So we tried again, and we explained that even if the whole village worked together, you couldn't build a school this quickly. It's not physically possible. And she listened to the translation, English to Spanish, Spanish to Quechua. She went, okay, but let's finish it now. And she took a few steps outside of her home, and she shouted on the top of her lungs that they were going to call a minga. And when she shouted this word, minga, we had no idea what it meant, but everyone else did. The men, they dropped their tools, peak harvest season. The women started walking to the center of the village. The children all gathered together, literally running with excitement. They got psyched up, and then they'd run to the next village as quickly as they could. There's no phone, no electricity here, so that's how they'd get a message. The children would run to the next village, and they would say, a minga's happening. And those kids would run to the next village again, and they would say, a minga's happening. And those kids would run to and through this ripple effect, slowly a few dozen, then dozens, 100, then hundreds of people from all the neighboring villages came together. And never seen anything like this, where they lay the foundations and they started placing the bricks, and the community and our volunteers were all celebrating and singing together, and we're hoisting up the roof, and then people walked back to their villages that were 6, 7, 8 hours away. They would never benefit from this school. It was too far for their kids to walk every day, but they came anyways. And after this all happened, I turned to the village chief and I said, what is a minga? And she said that among the Puré Indians, this word is sacred. And that when you say this word, it doesn't matter. You stop, you come together, you help, and you come together for the collective good. As she was describing this idea, this powerful idea, this coming together people for the collective good, we realized, and she actually realized through the translation, she wasn't explaining a word, she was explaining the whole idea. The translator was translating this thing with enormous length and into Spanish and into English, and it was convoluted. And finally, she spoke a little bit of English. She was the chief. She had been to the city. She said, what's the word in English? What's the word that you say? And everyone stops, and they all come together and help each other. And we said, hold on one second. The truth is we don't have a word for minga, and we need a word for minga because it reflects culture and what we truly value, what's truly important. We need mingas in campuses where students come together for causes. We need mingas in companies to build stronger bonds. We need mingas in families. We need mingas in schools. So I want to respectfully challenge you here today to figure out what your minga will be. I want you to share it with family and friends because the truth is we are stronger together. When companies and charities and social enterprises work together, we're stronger. And when communities work together, we're stronger. And when our global community works together, we're stronger. So I hope that you leave ready to call your own minga. Thank you so much.